Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I want to talk about the idea of understanding from a pure space. Understanding from a pure space and how it affects all of our work, all of our interactions with one another, and certainly the professional world that we are living in, experiencing, aware of, perhaps, if we take time to reflect. And I thought I'd start with this very useful quotation. This one is by Paul Brunton, and it says, "Although the pure truth has never been stated, nevertheless it has never been lost. Its existence does not depend upon human statement, but upon human sensitivity. In this, it is unlike all other knowledge, on human sensitivity rather than human statement." For example, if we look at professional organizations right now, many companies, many schools, many institutions, and of course, I'm looking at education especially, how we're talking about the things that we talk about. Those are human statements that, oh, you know what, I do see that people are so stressed out these days. There's so much to do. Everyone's on the go and everyone's running around and there's just not enough time for everything. Those are human statements. And then there's the human sensitivity. And are we sensitive today to each other? We certainly are picking up energies from each other, energies of unease, energies of rushed, hurried, focused on achievement, accomplishment, and competition oftentimes. And this idea has been something that we state, where many people are aware of this and many people can talk about it. And then that sensitivity, what can I do about it? And the sensitivity to realizing that many people feel too overwhelmed to do anything. What can I do about it? This is how my company works. And unless we are actually training people to be sensitive and to be aware of where they stand in things, what they value, what they know is showing peace in their own system, they cannot show peace or demonstrate peace or be a peaceful energy in the office, in a workplace of any sort, in a hospital, in an educational institution. If you see that all of our schools or organizations have become very, very rushed because we're very, very busy and there's more and more people coming in for different services. And then what's the energy that we're giving to people that are coming in for various services? We can have the human statement of, oh boy, we're very busy. So yeah, everyone's, I know, only getting half the time that they used to before, and we just don't have time to give more. And then the human sensitivity of, well, half the time is not really the concern. You can do in half the time what you can do in twice the time, but it requires a sensitivity, a caring, a compassion, a concern for who is being served. And today, yes, take less time to do whatever you do things efficiently, but put your heart in it. And that is something that I'm seeing in all sorts of businesses and all sorts of homes and families too, that is not being done, that there isn't this human sensitivity of taking a moment to care. So even when there's a quick hello and quick goodbye and quick, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, there's very little time where people are really stopping to connect with each other. And again, that could be 5 minutes or it could be many hours, but stopping to connect from the heart. And partly because we've never actually been trained that way. It's just, okay, well, get this done. This is when I see this work is done, that I know that you've had a good day. And that's how we think of ourselves too. We start thinking about the human statements of, I've achieved this, I've accomplished this, I'm doing this. I'm seeing a cat here right now, so just so you know, this cat just loves playing with my clothes or my shoes, and that's a human statement. I'm going to tell you that I love the energy that this cat brings. And again, I love the energy of everything that is around us, whether it's plants, it's flowers, it's people. And we have lost that connection from human sensitivity. And as you can see, I actually do have a human sensitivity. I feel that those of you who have been watching my videos for a while would recognize that. I certainly recognize that it's deepening, the sensitivity is deepening. And of course, that makes us a little bit more aware of the energies around us, and we see, oh, there's a lot of unease around us. And if we can be sensitive to our own energies, that am I feeling uneasy because of this energy? Can I pull away from it for just a little while? And I know a lot of people in businesses will run to a bathroom to just get their own space, and yet they run into many people in the bathroom. And it's again that sensitivity of recognizing I feel not so comfortable, I feel not so centered. And I can tell you that yes, my sensitivity is certainly increasing here, or deepening, I'll say, expanding here in Bali. And it's just because of the time that's spent in honoring the space that we have not spent so much time in doing. And this is again in everything. So my human sensitivity to enjoying music is carried with me wherever I go. So whether it's in the morning getting ready, or if it's cooking, if it's speaking with someone and some song comes up or in my mind that just represents the situation, I just seem to link with music that way. And I don't have a huge repertoire of so many different songs, but the ones that I know because they resonate with my sensitivity. So this, again, in professional practices, I come back to, do we even focus on our sensitivity and understanding where we are today? And we talk a lot about mindfulness, we talk about emotional intelligence, and are people really getting the opportunity to practice consciously? I find that in a classroom that might be teaching emotional intelligence, or perhaps some psychology that is talking about sensitivity, there might be assignments that are related to this. There might be trips. Again, I mentioned the fact that there's a lot of universities that take students across the world to see a different place, to be sensitive to how people are living in a different place. And the sensitivity of our unity and understanding each other is not something that's focused on. And that's what I really do focus on. So today I wanted to make sure that we understand that this is a skill that, unless we actually pay attention to it, it is slowly fading from a lot of people's abilities, because it's not consciously practiced, like this muscle being built. And I came across this quotation, which I thought was very fitting for this video too. It says, your self-respect has to be stronger than your feelings. Your self-respect has to be stronger than your feelings. My self-respect. So I can tell you that I like to make sure that whatever benefits me is benefiting anyone that I am working with. So what I learn, that's my self-respect, that I respect my knowledge, I respect my abilities, I respect what I'm capable of doing, and that it must benefit others is very important to me. Me, and I find it important to work through this mind to benefit others with this awareness about my abilities, my skills, my my love, my compassion, my joy, my fun, my seriousness, my hard work, and my light-heartedness too. So all of that is part of the self-respect I have for myself. And my feelings might be, oh, I really like this, or I really don't like that. I feel good about this, and I don't feel good about that. And self-respect has its anchor in things that are truly meaningful, and usually meaningful to more than just ourselves. It's meaningful in a way that helps those around us too somehow. So it's interesting that I definitely feel that this is something that, when we talk about self-respect, well, I respect myself, so I should have a bigger office. It's I, as in me, this person needs a bigger office. And you'll see that these things happen in offices all the time. I want the corner office, or I want a higher salary, or I want anything, whatever it is, and that's me self-respecting me. When I am having self-respect, I understand that, wow, you know what? I feel like I would like a little bit more money because I would like to have a trip. And that's honesty. And then just recognizing this within ourselves. And guess what? Everyone else in my company feels the same way. And so this self-respect is just to understand myself and understand that this is the reason. Understanding myself helps me understand others. And unless I just understand that this is a commonality everywhere, I don't have compassion for others. So what I might start doing is start judging and start measuring that, oh, that person has had 3 holidays and I haven't had a single holiday. And you have no idea whether that person is struggling with an illness, or is working with a family member that is struggling with an illness, or anything that is beyond our understanding. In this, of course, mental health comes up, and I just wanted to make sure that, again, when I'm putting all of these ideas together for this video today, I come back to something that I feel was very, and is certainly currently very, and I guess has been for quite a while, very central to my practice of living and practicing being the best of me. And this is what I would encourage for all of us. But I can tell you that this reading that I'd like to do for you is the peace prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. And I know I've talked about this in another video, and recently I was speaking with a friend and this came up post meditation, and it's so central to what I really believe is something that's being lost in the service industry of all sorts. And this is something about, again, us looking outside of ourselves to see how are we providing service. And it's funny that this prayer came up again through post-meditation to actually share with this friend. And this friend was reminded that years ago when she got married, this was actually the prayer that were one of the readings at her wedding itself. And if we really look within, we can see that many of us that are in the service industry can do so much more if we keep this as a central theme for us. Here's the prayer. It says, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. And of course I get emotional with these things. When there is doubt, faith. When there is despair, hope. When there is darkness, light. When there is sadness, where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. And boy, and this is again, when I think about grief recovery, for example, we think about forgiveness as a big part of grief recovery. And this is something that often businesses are not so forgiving, whether to people in the business who have done some error or who have not been able to live up to some expectation or anything. There's not that energy of forgiveness. There's not the energy of apologies that are truly from the heart. There's not the expression of communication that is also from that heart. So where I started today was this whole idea of just that moment of recognizing that truth requires a sensitivity, and those things are parts of truth. And when we're looking at what can we give rather than what we can receive, we will receive. It always comes back to us. And whether we think of karma, whether we think of Vedic history and think about the teachings from that, we look at the truth from every spiritual discipline, every religion, and every just basic understanding of truth from just an objective observation, we'd see the same thing, that when we are serving, when we do it with our heart, there's a different quality to that energy. Today, I want to remind us all that we can do it with our heart. And if this prayer struck a chord with you, I'd love to hear about it. If any of this video struck a chord with you, of course, I'd love to hear about it. Just write a comment in the comments below this video, and just know also that I feel very honored that you were listening to this video today. I wish you a fantastic day or night ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a good day or night, everyone.